temperature 20.0. Altimeter 29er, 46 right use.
We often see small aircraft in our community without knowing much about the person in charge of the cockpit controls, but here's an introduction to one of them.
Clear prop.
Wind 300 at 5. The weather is better than 5,000 at 5. Temperature 182.0.
Dan Meyer has had a decades-long passion for flying, and even though he's retired now, he still keeps his skills up to date. He flies his Cessna out of Ryan Airfield, southwest of Tucson.
Okay, and Delta Delta's a Skyhawk, and we're cleared Bravo 2, Bravo, hold short.
But Meyer's flights are much more than a lifelong hobby that he likes to practice. He's a volunteer with Lighthawk, a group which takes scientists and others up in the air so they can get new perspectives about tracts of land that are being studied, developed, or under consideration for preservation.
I think there are about 150 of us pilots in the United States. And almost to a person, they share this dual love, passion for the environment, the outdoors, and flying.
Here's Dan Meyer with his original flight instructor in 1964 when he obtained his license. By then, he had already attended forestry college, and as he moved up the ladder in that career, he always kept a connection to an airplane. Eventually, he lived in the Washington, D.C. area and flew for individual groups who were interested in protecting Chesapeake Bay. But when he and his wife retired in Green Valley, Meyer decided to get involved with Lighthawk in southern Arizona. He says the group is instrumental in taking care of logistics and paperwork so he can concentrate on his craft, flying scientists and others so they can get a better view of the world below, like this stretch of the Santa Cruz River south of Tucson.
I think that's the bottom line value of what we provide is there's just no substitute from an aerial view. You get a sense of perspective and relationships that's impossible to get through a windshield or on the ground. You immediately know the scale of something and how how one thing affects another.
Well, I think it's critical, and I think it's the reason for being of the organization. I don't think there is another perspective that gives you such an immediate understanding of the issues that might be involved, because when you see it from the air, you see the patterns, the relationships, the size.
What I can say is that they are really good friends first, and they are passionate about conservation. We share that passion to contribute to make a better environment for people.
Francisco Zamora Arroyo is one of the many scientists who has benefited from the flights. Zamora Arroyo works for the Sonoran Institute in Tucson, but he has been focusing on the upper Gulf of California and surrounding areas for years.
The Colorado River Delta is a large ecosystem. You think about Yuma to the upper Gulf of California is about 100 miles long and about 50 miles wide. So it's a really large ecosystem. The only way to be able to look at the ecosystem is by flying. Without the images from these flights, it will be really difficult to do it because access to the Cienega is very limited. In an airplane, you can do that in a couple hours and really get the detail that you need.
And Meyer says he'll continue taking to the sky as long as possible, sharing his time and his skills so he can contribute to the education, information, and discussion about our natural environment. It's a lifelong hobby that is still desirable, important, and relevant while providing personal growth and satisfaction.
Ryan Ground, Skyhawk 418 Delta Delta at the fuel ramp, taxi VFR with Juliet.